I'm Fox 17 meteorologist Greg Bobus, and we're checking on a forecast here. We're in a code red weather alert for the cold. If you didn't know it was coming when you woke up this morning, you've already been outside. Shock to the system for a lot of us here. We had temperatures that were a good 10 to 25 degrees colder than it was yesterday morning, and now we're in it for the long haul. The next 4 or 5 days will end up making this the coldest time frame we've had in the last 6-7 months when it comes to down into the 30s. That means a lot when it comes to just planning our day. How are we going to start off? What are we going to wear? What are we going to do? We're kind of out of the summer clothes. We've been maybe clinging on to them. Winter. Also, snow chances have gone up a little bit. If you're in the plateau or you're driving out that direction later today or tomorrow morning, there could be a few light flurries that do come down, could give us minimal accumulations in some grassy areas. The ground's just a little too warm for that, though. As far as the breeze goes, the wind has not left us for the last 48 hours, and it will not leave us today. Wind gusts up near 30 to 35 miles per hour this afternoon. Right now, we're at 50. So we had a decent little warm up here for us. Mostly cloudy in the day for us, and we're going to hang out right near 50 for the rest of this afternoon. There's not much growth when it comes to our temperatures because our next weather maker moves in from the north. That's also where the wind is from. Colder air's up that direction, so the wind and sun kind of fighting it, duking it out here this morning. Taking a look here. This is the blue moving our direction. There's a chance we can start seeing some flurries here later on this afternoon, and I want to compare us to the rest of the Mid-South because we're definitely not in this by ourselves. A lot of us here working through temps that are in the 50s. And yeah, we're gearing up for even more cold ahead of us. Taking a look, though, we're starting off decently, so just make sure that we're kind of following the forecast closely, because if you see the 7-day in a few moments, you'll notice we go from the 40s to 50s to 60s. We bounce in the 30s and 50s at night. It's a lot of numbers. So make sure you have ways to get alerts, or just find that hour-by-hour forecast, and you can easily do that with the Code Red Weather app. Speaking of hour-by-hour, it's a downward trend. We're just about as warm as we're going to be. We'll lose a few degrees each hour through the rest of this morning and toward the afternoon as the wind picks up and sun goes down. We get chilly again. We're talking about 30s overnight. Now, the next 3 nights are why we're code red. Could hit our first freeze in many areas here. Nashville, not likely to hit 32 or below, but watch what happens going into the next couple of mornings. Here's Friday morning, for example. You wake up with temperatures that are in the upper 20s. So tomorrow we're starting off below the freezing mark for a good chunk of Middle Tennessee. Saturday morning, a little bit different. Depending upon where you live, morning to morning, we'll always have small fluctuations in temperature, cloud cover being a big influence of most of that most of the time. Our western counties, low 30s. To wake up to right near freezing. So the next couple of mornings, if you have any plants that are still good to go, it can be a little rough. That actually could kill them over the course of the next couple of days. So either cover them, pull them back inside, or just know this is pretty much the end of the season if we don't start taking those precautions. And then by Sunday, temperatures get a little better. Let's talk about the best chance for a snow shower or two. Let's look Hopkinsville all the way down through Cookeville, Crossville, the Monterey area. Upper elevations have the best chance to see a little bit of snow. Influence the forecast for us here. Taking a look, future track moves us into the later stages of this morning. A little cloud cover will begin to build in the coming hours in southern Kentucky and then sneak south of the state line and take over a little bit more throughout the late afternoon. 7 p.m., snow showers possible. Looks a little more impressive than it is. Here's 9 o'clock, taking us into the overnight. Our snow chance is best and mainly only there for the overnight hours. Here's midnight, and then by tomorrow morning, fairly cloudy. The bursts of sun we get, though, will help melt away whatever does stick. What I mean by stick, maybe a dusting again on just spots that aren't paved. So you may see a little snowflake action if you're up overnight. Wash or wait. I say go for it. Any outdoor activity that involves temperatures that are not in the 30s, you want to do them during the peak afternoon hours. I would say late morning into the afternoon. So 49 to right near 50 degrees right now. Chilly morning, breezy and cool this afternoon. The weekend, taking a look here. Again, Saturday morning starting off near frosty conditions and also near freezing. If I'm picking a day to go outside this weekend, I've got my eyes glued to Sunday. That's the best day of the weekend ahead. The next 3 days have the red boxes. They are all code red days for the cold, and that slight chance for a few flakes overnight tonight. Now, about a month from now, when we have a weather pattern like this, it's not going to continue to be code red because we will be accustomed to these 30s, but this is kind of disruptive to our daily behavior and our daily patterns here. So this is why, for the first blast of real cold air for the season, we're code red the next 3 days.